welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a bit of binder maintenance. I have all of my Ateez, the World Series cards here. I have them all resleeved, and then we're going to be putting them into this Ultbias binder. So let's get started. Okay, so first I have when Ultbias Blue started, they did the duo version of the, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can show this on camera. The Wanderlust Astro something. I forgot what the official name is for these. But I bought the duo binder, and I wanted to put in the World Series in this. So I think I'm going to need both binders to put. I'm going to need both binders to put the entirety of the World Series in here. So, because I think Outlaw is going to need its own binder with how much stuff it needed. So, let's take these out. And the backboards. There we go. And then, I wonder if I should use these. Well, at least put one in the front. Then depending on how many eras I end up putting in here. Maybe we'll use the tabs. We'll see. Alright. So how is everybody doing? Having a good day? Today's the 24th in the US. So I guess technically yesterday was Ateez's anniversary. So kind of crazy to think. Oh wait, just kidding. These are the wrong. these are the one pocket sleeves. Let me get the actual correct stuff. Okay, so apparently I don't have any regular single-sided 9 pockets, but I do have a lot of double-sided ones. So I'm gonna put the double-sided ones in here. I'm not gonna double-side my collection, but we're going to use the double-sided pages in here until I can buy the correct single-sided pages, because apparently I can't read. Okay, so, okay, there we go. Now I've got the pages in. Okay. Hopefully the glare won't be too bad. I use natural lighting, so I have my window, so hopefully we should be good. Alright, so first up we have the World Series. So I thought I might talk a little bit about, since today's Ateez's anniversary, about how I became an Atiny, like my whole journey into becoming an Ateez fan. I know in my very first video I talked about it a little bit, but I'll give you guys the whole story. So basically, when I first got into K-pop, it was through my coworker. She got me into BTS, and I was like all in on BTS, because if you know me, I was one of those teen girls who had their all 4 walls and ceiling covered in NSYNC and Backstreet Boys posters as a teenager. Those crazy fans, yeah. I was one of those. You should have seen my room as a teenager. Oh my gosh. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with boy bands. And so basically when my coworker was like, okay, Kim, I know you like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, but have you ever heard of K-pop? Have you heard of BTS? And I was like, yeah, I've heard of them. I know who they are. I've seen, you know, I think at the time it was Boy With Love, or maybe it was DNA. I don't know, I can't remember. And I was like, I don't know if I want to get into this. And then she kept like showing me things, and I was like, Jenny, that's my friend's name. I was like, I know if I start looking into BTS, I will fall down the rabbit hole extremely hard, and I will not be the same person on the other side. And I was right. I did. I became obsessed with BTS. So obsessed. But I think there's also, I know it happens a lot in the BTS fandom, where you kind of, there's this expectation of, you can only like one group, right? You can only, if you like anyone else besides, you know, BTS, you're not a true fan. And I kind of fell into that trap a lot. So, but anyway, so yeah, I fell into that trap of, you can only have one K-pop group. You can't like multiple. And so, for the longest time, it was BTS. Because I got into K-pop during 2020, during COVID. So, and then I went to the BTS concerts. I went to all of them. And so, I went to 2 LA shows, all 4 Vegas shows. And then they announced their hiatus. And that was when I was like, because leading up to their hiatus, my friend and I had gone to all of these different concerts, and we were, you know, doing all this stuff, having fun. And then they announced their hiatus, and then we were like, oh, well, now what do we do if BTS isn't going to be around? I mean, they still have their solo stuff, but I was like, one of the groups I had kind of followed was TXT, and they had announced that they were going on tour. So I, on a whim, bought I bought TXT concert tickets for San Francisco. I bought 2 of them. I don't even know if I was planning on going. I was just, they were for sale. They went on sale, and I was like, I think this would be kind of fun to go to. So I think it was the day after BTS announced their hiatus. I texted my friend. I was like, hey, I know it's not BTS, but I have TXT concerts. Do you want to go? And she was like, sure, let's go. And then, I think it was maybe 2 weeks after that, we were at work, and she was like, okay, Kim, if we plan this correctly, we can actually go see Stray Kids and TXT in the same week. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. Because I think we went to Stray Kids first, because Stray Kids they had their concert in Anaheim, their Maniac tour. So we bought tickets to go see Stray Kids, and in this time, we didn't know any of their songs or any of that stuff, so we had to like learn the members of the group, and like their songs and all of this stuff. And I really enjoyed TXT, but my friend, she really enjoyed Stray Kids better. They were more, you know, her vibe. And so when we saw Stray Kids, I didn't know who the members were. I had to be like, wait, who's this again? Who's that? Yeah, and so it took me a while. But after the Stray Kids concert, because I saw them in concert, and I was like, oh my gosh, Stray Kids is actually really good and amazing. And so, I mean, so is TXT. But, okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought for a second. So we went to Stray Kids and TXT. We went to those concerts. We went to Stray Kids in Anaheim, and then flew to San Francisco to see TXT. And then for TXT, we were like, let's do this as cheaply as possible. Let's not get a hotel, because our flight home left at like 5 a.m. and the concert ends at midnight. And it was like, why get a hotel for 4 hours? Because you have to leave early anyway. So we just, after the concert, we did do a luggage rental. So we went and picked up our luggage and then just went to the airport. Wait, why do I have extra? Oh, hold on. But basically, yeah, we just did a luggage rental. And then after the concert, we went and picked up our luggage, then got an Uber to the airport, and then just kind of slept in the airport until it was time to go home on our like super early flight in the morning. But so after we got back from those two concerts, I think Ateez announced their concert tickets going on sale, and also in Hyphen too. And so we were like, I texted her, I was like, hey, these groups are going on tour as well. Do you want to go to these guys? Oh no. She was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Looking back on it, I don't know how we afforded to go to all of these concerts all in the same year. It was insane. But anyway, so Ateez tickets went on sale. I didn't have the membership or anything like that for Ateez, so I bought tickets as soon as actually, I don't even think Ateez had a pre-sale for fans for their Break the Wall tour. I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, so I bought tickets for their Anaheim shows for both days. I was able to get VIP for, not the top VIP, but the second one for day one. So we were on the floor. And then day two, that was when they had like the glitch and they only let you buy one ticket per account per day, which was, anyway. So me and my friend, we had to buy our separate tickets for that day. But I think, I kept an eye on it, and I think a week later I found some tickets together on the first tier. So we were able to do that. But I bought Ateez concert tickets without knowing who they were. I don't think I heard a single song from them. I didn't look them up before buying the concert tickets. I just was like, yep, it's a K-pop group. Yep, they're going on tour. Okay, let's go. So anyway, after it was confirmed that we had the concert tickets, we had a couple of months before the show. So we had enough time to actually go and like watch a couple music videos, you know, try and get to know all of the members, learn their names, all that stuff. And I think one of the first things I watched was Imitation, because why not? So I still love that TV show. I still watch it. I'll go back and rewatch it every once in a while, because Jungkook was my favorite character in that. His comedic relief was peak. But anyway, so started to learn Ateez, started to listen to their songs more. I really enjoyed Gorilla. Gorilla is one of my favorite songs, because that was released right before their concert, or right after their concert was announced. I don't know. Hazy on those details. But anyway, so yeah, I really, really enjoyed Gorilla. And I think I said this before, but my very first performance video I ever watched was Sector 1, when they're in the white outfits. So that was like my first introduction to Ateez. And like they're performing and stuff in their music. So anyway, started to get to know them through all of their content that they had. Watched a couple of their variety stuff. I think I thought that they were hilarious. And then time goes on and we go to the concert. And I honestly was blown away by their performance, because I don't think I've ever been to a concert where the performers had that much energy. I don't even know how to explain it, because it's not like the other concerts I'd gone to before were bad, because they weren't. It's just Ateez was just on a different level, completely different level. And I was like, whoa, these guys are amazing. Like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And just like, they were able to get, they were able to get the crowd up on their feet, and like the crowd's energy was also really, really intense. And so just overall, the whole experience was fun. I also got to see Young smash Hongjun's face into the cake. So that was fun. Which, side note, because that was on Hongjun's birthday, right? The first Anaheim date. And when I was at the most recent concert, the In Your Fantasy concert, the girl sitting behind me, she was talking about that concert. And she was like, yeah, I'm the one who organized the birthday event for Hongjun, and it fell flat. It flopped pretty hard, I'm going to be honest. But I turned around and was like, I want you to know that I still treasure that heart that you handed out. I still have it, and the party hat. It is part of like my, in my memory stuff. She was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Anyway, so I still have all of that stuff. But yeah, anyway, so we went to the concerts. I was floored by their performances. 100% floored. And I was like, yes, this is the group for me. I love you guys so much. So we go home after the concerts, and then their spinoff was announced. That was their next comeback after the concerts. And let me tell you, as someone who's never been through a like comeback promotion like that, because BTS didn't have any. I guess they had the Butter albums, but I think Ateez was like my first like comeback where I was invested in a group, and I was like watching everything that they dropped. Let me tell you, I was so confused by that 30-minute video that had nothing in it. What? That like flashed different like hidden messages with the creepy sounds. I was a baby teenie during that, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. What is happening here? Someone explain, please. So it was quite the introduction to Ateez, let me tell you that. But up until this point, my Ateez bias is actually Hongjun. He was my first Ateez bias. And he still is. He's like, I still bias him and Jungho. But after Halazia came out, I had gotten really sick. Like, it was pretty bad. And I ended up being hospitalized. I was in the hospital for a week, and then I was on bed rest for 3 months after that. Plus, I had to have my kidney removed. I had to have major surgery twice. I also had to have another surgery later to get a cyst removed. Like, I don't even know how I'm still alive, to be honest. But the reason that Jungho is my bias now is because during that time when I was on bed rest and I didn't have anything, to do to keep me entertained and all that stuff, was Jungho. I was watching all of his like fan cams, all of his covers, just listening to this man sing. It brought a lot of comfort to me while I was in the hospital and on bed rest. So we have a connection now, and that's why Jungho is my old bias. It's because he helped me through one of the hardest periods of my life. So, also, as a side note, I went and saw Stray Kids in LA while I was sick, and I shouldn't have gone, and I feel really bad for my friends who had to take care of me while I was there, because the day I got back from Stray Kids in LA, I went to the emergency room and I was in the hospital for the week. I can laugh about it now, but in the moment, it wasn't a good place to be. So I don't want to give you guys all the gory details of my sickness, but basically I have a very high pain tolerance, and I didn't know there was anything wrong with my body, but my body was, you know, slowly dying inside. So take that as you will. So yeah, so I just I just sat around and listened to Jungho sing, and that was, you know, he's the reason. That's the reason that Jungho is my Ultbias. And I really love Ateez a lot. So they're definitely my comfort place. So now we have a spinoff. So like I said, spinoff was my very first comeback with Ateez. I really like Holizia. Holizia was pretty good. But yep, and then after I got better, I was yeah, after I got out of the hospital, I went through my surgeries. I went through one surgery, actually, my major one, and then Bouncy came out, and I don't know if it was just like me having a new look on life, being like, I just want to live my life to the fullest because I almost died, and now I want to not hold back and experience everything I can. I don't know, I just decided to start collecting, I guess. I think it was because of the Outlaw photo cards were so cute. Like these ones are amazing. And I love the blanket set. But I believe it was the bread set from Outlaw, which caused me to spiral down the Ateez collecting rabbit hole. So, yep. And then now, fast forward a couple years, we're here. And I love Ateez. So, they are definitely worth it. But yeah, so that was my story on how I became Atiny. I don't know if it made sense. I kind of was just yapping this whole time. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to clear up any questions or anything like that. That's also the reason I wasn't around for the Zykers debuts, because I was in the hospital. Because I saw Zykers when they opened for the Break the Wall tour, and I was like, oh my gosh, these kids are pretty cool. I want to follow them later when they debut. And then I totally missed it. So you know. There we go. I've recently been introducing my friends to K-pop, right? And I had them come over the other day because my husband's out of town currently, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to come over for a movie night? I was like, my husband's out of town, do you guys want to come over for a movie night? And I was like, and by movie night, I mean watch a K-pop concert. They were like, yeah, sure, we can do that. So I've been we watched the Break the Wall tour, and I was just kind of been introducing them to Ateez and stuff. And one of my friends, she asked me, These do not want to stay in the sleeve. Oh my gosh. At the very end of the concert, like the confetti erupted or whatever, and one friend was like, "Oh look, there's all the confetti," because I had shown her my confetti collection, and I was like, "It's like, yep. As soon as they leave the stage, I am on the floor scooping up confetti. I am one of those people." But my other friend, my second friend, she was like, "Do you ever use the confetti? Like have an Ateez themed party and use all your confetti as decoration?" And I was like, "I will if you want me to." It's like, if you want me to put on an Ateez party and introduce you to the members and like their music videos and stuff, I will absolutely do that. Because so far I've only shown them concert videos. I haven't, because yeah, I took them to see Towards the Light in theater, and then recently I had them come over and watch Break the Wall. So I've been slowly trying to teach them their names. It was actually really funny because one of my friends, the one who's like more invested in Ateez, she told me, she's like, I looked up the concert afterward because she'll watch like clips on YouTube of the Towards the Light concert. She's like, I went and looked up the DVD for the Towards the Light concert, and I was like, I didn't realize they were so expensive because I wanted to buy it for myself. And I was like, yeah, they can get pretty expensive. So now I'm like, maybe I'll just buy you one for Christmas and leave it on your doorstep. I might have to do that actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But as the first, if any of you have seen the Break the Wall tour, the very first opener is, with, what is the song? New World. And my friend, she was like, oh, that's the main singer, right? That's your favorite. And I was like, nope. It's like, nope, that's, wrong person. And I was like, but that's okay. They get mistaken a lot. They get mistaken for each other a lot because they do look a bit similar. It was just really funny. She's like, I know that one. That's the main singer. And I was like, I'm sorry. No, that's not. And so, but their nicknames, as they're getting to learn them, are actually really, really funny because Seonghwa is Elf, Yeosang is Elf 2, and Son is Muscles, which seems appropriate. They all know who Jungho is because of me, and he is very noticeable because we've only been watching performance videos. His voice is very recognizable, and obviously they call him Captain. Call Hongjun Captain. So, but it's just really funny listening to him try to learn the names. That's the main singer. Nope. But anyway. So I might have to have an Ateez themed party for them and just actually like watch some music videos. I don't think we've watched any music videos. I showed them Halazia because my friend was arguing with me that Seonghwa had the deepest voice, Seonghwa and Mingi, and I was like, no. They have deep voices, yes, but no, Yeosang has a deep voice. So I had to like show her Halazia as proof. So I don't know, maybe I'll have to have a concert or something with them. So, what do you guys think the chances are of Ateez announcing a comeback in December? Because I feel like they won't announce anything until after Zikers have their comeback on Halloween. But yeah, I don't think they'll announce anything until after Zikers finish their comeback and stuff, or have their comeback on the 31st. So maybe they'll announce it that first week of November. Maybe? Or are we going to get a little bit of a break? I would hope we get a little bit of a break, because I need to pause collecting especially after the disaster that was Golden Hour Part 3. I'm probably going to take a step back for a little bit. Mostly because my husband and I are saving up our money for stuff. Okay, so that is The World and Halazia. Should I put it? Let me see if I like this. If I should put a divider between the two eras. There we go. Okay. We'll do a quick flip through. I don't know if I want the IDs, the first thing you see. Let's actually move the Digipack cards to the front. I think that might flow a little better. Okay, hang on. I need to rearrange some of this stuff. So I feel like having the IDs at the end of each concept is better. Okay, there we go. So now we can do a quick flip through. I do need to get some fillers. I don't know if I want to use the same ones I was using before, or if I want to make like custom ones for each era. Hey, so World, and then so now this binder, once I put the fillers in, this binder will be ready to archive, because these collections are complete. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to get the next binder out. I honestly wonder if Bouncy's going to take up an entire binder in itself, and if I'll need to put the will in the back of this one. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Perfect. Let me go get the other binder. Okay. Here is the second one. So let's take these out. Set this up really quick. Okay. Now we have these two left over from the first binder. When I was calculating all this, if I did my math right, I would need 75 pages for the entire I can't speak, for the World Series. So, hopefully that's right. But if that's the case, that means I only put 24 pages in the other binder. So now I'm worried yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to put will in the back of the other one. But we'll just, oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Look at this. This is Will. All of this is Outlaw. So, take the sticks out. Alright, we're going to start off with the infamous bread set because I blame this set for the reason why I started becoming an OTA collector. Well, a collector just in general. But, because I didn't start collecting just one member. It was OTA. And then later it was like, oh yeah, I want to collect my bias. Let's collect all of Junko's cards. Actually, no, that's a lie. I started buying Junko's cards, but I refused to admit. Yeah, so I actually started to buy Junko cards before I admitted that he was actually my bias. Anytime my friends would come over and I would like be opening up mail and I was like, I got a new Junko card, and they'd be like, are you sure Junko's not your bias? I was like, no, my bias is Hongjin. But I would still buy Junko's photo cards. I was in denial, let's be honest. So, and then it took me a while, but I finally came to terms that Junko is actually my bias. So, there we go. Outlaw was when I started collecting, and I started collecting OT8, but like the amount of cards that were in Outlaw it's insane, the amount of cards. Like, looking back on it now, I don't know how this was my first collecting experience was Outlaw. I don't know how I did it. Collect OTA for all of these cards, and I had fun doing it. I didn't stress. I thought it was great. I actually really like all of the photo cards for this era too. They weren't boring like the other ones are. I remember after Outlaw, when Will came around, I finished it so fast, I was like, oh, it's done? I'm done? What do you mean? I was so confused. It's like, shouldn't this be harder? But that's because Will is not a normal amount of photo cards. I mean, not Will. Outlaw was not a normal amount of photo cards. But I definitely learned a lot. Especially, like, starting to sell my photo cards for the first time. That was an experience. Not knowing what I was doing. And, like, how to package them correctly so they didn't damage. Making sure they shipped off correctly. And then, oh yeah, I also forgot, I ran out of sleeves when I was re-sleeving this. So I do have these Mingy cards. They're all right here, but they're just not in the correct sleeves. So I did place the order for more Ultbias sleeves. So once they come, I'll re-sleeve them. They'll probably be in a storing video later. Just know that I have them. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, I think I might just speed run the rest of this, or time lapse it, so I can just get all of these put away really quick. Okay, as I was putting away all the platform cards, I realized these Digipack cards were just right in the middle of them, of all the Digipacks, or Poker cards, so we're just going to move the Digipacks to the back. There we go. And yeah, and like I said, Outlaw was my first time collecting, so I didn't realize that there was two different colored backs and the meanings between them. So I have both colors, and I don't care about the colors for this. So they just are what they are. Alright, so next up we have the platform cards and the QR cards. So I believe last time I did this, I had the QR codes in the middle. Yeah, like that. Because there's enough for each member to have their own 9 pocket with all of their platform cards. Well, maybe I should put the Digipacks before all the platforms, because these are technically also platform cards. Okay. I'll have to move those. Perfect. No. No, I use the page. And there we go. Perfect. I had just the right amount of pages in here. So that is all of my Outlaw cards, besides the few main game missing. Yeah, look how full it already is. But I think there's enough room to put in Will, so let's do that. Tab over. Got a new box. Okay, there we go. So I'm just missing all those Mingy cards. And then I realized as I was putting everything away that I forgot all the stickers. I didn't pull the stickers out of my my other binder. So I do have all the stickers, I just have to put them all. And for Outlaw, the action cards, I need to pull all those out too. But yeah, nothing else can fit in this binder because it is full. So let's do a quick flip through. Gotta decide what fillers I want to put in here. If I just want to put like the black sleeves and just leave it blank, or if I actually want to customize them. Oh yeah, I also wanted to move these because these are also platform cards. So I'm thinking they should go before all of the digipack, or all of the platform cards. There. That makes more sense to me now. But yeah, as soon as I get the other sleeves and I re-sleeve Mingy, all the ones that are missing, yeah, this whole entire page is Mingy. So that's all Outlaw, Goodwill. And I did finally buy the very last 3 cards that I was missing for Outlaw. So I will also be putting those away. And then this binder can be archived. Officially done with the World Series. So yay, that's exciting. Now I have to decide what I'm going to do with the Golden Hour binders. I think it's fine for now the way it is, but I don't know if Ateez's next comeback is going to be like Golden Hour Epilogue, or if we're officially done with the Golden Hour series, so I don't know. But yeah, that was it for today's video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye!